political dice.
Empishi ebyobufuzi.
It's controversial.
Kiwali political.
Well researched.
Accurate and global.
Oyagala bya parliament oba council.
Yes, state house oba ghetto.
Ani ayuga ku ground.
Ani bwe babuze.
Okimanyi nga Dr. Kiza Besigye aleesa amaanyi.
Olwofadda bafutoli abateeseemu obuvaazi.
Oba yo DP eri kuki?
Olwojema.
Bano ba MKCG bo baddawa.
Abo bafuna CDF bamala tebabanja. Olwo baba ate bange bali kuki?
Abo bo akina kulabisa simayanga posturing tebabiri bali mu structure building. Naye ate ono ye.
Ani oyo ba?
Ye ali kuki?
Oyo tumuleketa gamu apanyiga mawu.
Ebe ndabena birindira nokuda political dice ku the alternative TikTok nange teditenje ewamune.
Farida bikobere
buli wa Sunday
sawa 2.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Hub Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Hub Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Hub, craft your own footprints.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, recorder. Did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704 11 1720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Tukulikeyo mulamuko saawa eno mba negatiddwako mugenyi wange ow'olunaku lwaleero Kanso Kato Tumusiime ngenda mwaniriza atulamuseeko awono tutambule ne programu yaffe ate nga bweyina okubeera. Kanso, you are most welcome. Please say hi to our viewers. Otubuulire wiiki ye etambudde tya, ebintu bikutambulira bitya?
Thank you, Farida, and good morning, our viewers. I'm glad that I'm here today to discuss a few things. Mbeera nga bwetambula mu ggwanga bintu nga bwe biri Well, generally wiki yange tebadde mbi. Okujjako nti I've had an opportunity to travel in different areas.
Oh.
But kati ebinnya tebikyali nsonga za Kampala, the bad roads.
Biri all over.
The problems of Kampala alone. Because the other, I think in the middle of the week I was in Mubende. There's that road. It's very terrible.
Oh.
Ate ekkubo lye batandika okulikola, I think it has taken like a year for now. But there is no change that has happened. Bakolako katono loza bakola lwe bagadde.
Someone told me abo ba contractors ba makubo tebamaliriza kubo nga tebanafuna contract ndala.
Anti nalabyeko prime minister nga yekalakasa. Nabuuza one of the people from Unula, how do you consider nti ono ye best bidder era yayina ebisaanyizo ebimukiriza
musinzira ku kyoga ba contract.
Nagamba no, we consider buli omu quotation gyakoze and their bidding price, then we go with the lowest bidder
lowest bidder asabye sente
ntono bwe bawa tebafaayo bumanyiri buki bwayina experience gyayina capacity gyayina to deliver. Bagenda nayina akasente katono kyo.
That explains the quality of roads we have.
Chola ne bibakola bimalayo just mwezi gumu ne bigenda. Then previously nali nalabako tweet. Wakati bakyusa.
Kati simanyi oba bwe twadda ku X oba ekyali tweet, I don't know.
The Unule tugamba. There are some road works going on along Mavila. That's Jinja Road.
Yeah.
Now surprising and I read Jinja over the weekend.
Nothing is happening.
Na omanyi road works bakola. They got Malam
never feeling a tarmac.
Yes. So that's how terrible the road can be. So I was also there wondering, is this the road construction that you are telling us?
And you know, I was alerting the public about the road works taking place in they're feeling Evinya with Malam.
Right now Uganda, everything is very possible.
Everything is going left.
I think Gabanti Evinya byonna all over bagenda nga babipatchinga that Malam. No.
Balonda mu ebinenenene.
Ebirane babyera babira, I don't remember.
Tebali na Malam amala maybe.
Generally, that's how it has been.
Easily accessible.
But the transport network, the road network is very terrible. Very terrible. Jinja Road. And I wonder, that's one of the biggest routes that bring goods in this country. Baba Singa Mubasa, Baiteyo, they use that road. But the state it is in, Mpako Kugenda, Tororo, that side, I don't know what's happening to this country.
Ensi yaffe it is erimu state naffe tujewunya. And then we wonder whether we have leaders or tulina abantu just abatafaayo.
I also don't know. Now that's the question. I think
we need to caution the minister of road transport.
When I eat Murope bamuteko sanctions. I think that's
at
least that's the biggest language now everybody.
Mr. Katumba Wamala, what are you doing?
As
the minister in office. Because during your tenure, abantu complaining about poor roads and you're not doing something. It is really
generally wiki bwetyo bwetambudde olunaku lwa
Namugongo you didn't go?
Lwa Sunday twali eyo mu Bakiga Nation.
So how was the experience?
The experience is always good. You see, such kind of gatherings are important to us.
What is the real motive of Bakiga Nation?
It is uniting the Bakiga that are around this country and maybe remembering their culture, behaviors and how things used to be done. This time around, Baritako, they were a little bit creative because they got most of the things that are there back in the villages, the Chiga, the Chigezi region. So they were there. So that in Nabakulide Mukampala, they have got an opportunity to experience how it feels, how the village life used to be, how it is there. When you are in such kind of gatherings, you get an opportunity to meet your lost old friends. So to reconnect. Yeah, it is a kind of reconnection. Uganda matters against you. I don't want to lie.
You don't want to lie. Why you don't? Why you overtambula kugenda Uganda matters? Have you ever been there?
I have never been. I have never been.
You've never been there.
I've never been there. I think I've been there once just to tour around and see what happens. But ngasi lunaku luno lwa Uganda Matters. But yes, most of the people went there. I saw so many people. But surprisingly, as I was following what was transpiring in Namugongo, I saw a group of people that were being arrested. And then anyway, I'm still thinking about it. Ngabagamba berimbiseemu abavubuka.
Yeah.
Nabo bayambadde uniform ng'eyaba ushers abalala ne bafuna obubongo bw'aba ushers ab'e Namugongo nabo ne bayitamu nga bajja ku bantu kimu ky'ekkumi awo. And I'm wondering.
I think every opportunity that a Ugandan gets, they are thinking of how they are surviving.
Fear Ugandans.
But
what shocked me the most, and what I am still asking myself about is, we need to know who actually motivates these people. Because chemanyi babera n'olukiiko oluteekateeka ate olwo olukiiko mu different shrines olubairawo for some period ebbanga ngaligere tebabateekawo leero nti enkya tugenda kutandika. So abantu abatuula ku nkiiko ezo ne bapulaninga ne bagamba last year twakozesa uniform eno kati abantu bwensuubira siri sure bwensuubira these are my opinions nagamba kati eno uniform twagikozesa last year kati abayayaya abagezigezi bayinza ogikopa ne bagikozesa this year, so let us change and use this kind of uniform.
I think that you want to cut costs.
No, let me see. This is how I see my thing. Bwebuba ne bagamba buno this year tugenda kukozesa obubbo kikakina. You get? That's a group of people that are trusted, that are given the power and authority to plan for that event so that it can be a successful event. But surprisingly, and my question here is, who alerts these other young people? Ngabe bakutte. Ku guno omwaka tugenda kukozesa uniform bweti obubbo bwe tunakozesa bunaabeera bwe buti tags zinaafaanana bweziti. And how do they access munda mu shrines? Kubanga tusigamba nti babadde kukubo nga bwe basolooza babadde munda
nanti bayingidde nga abajulizi abalala abagenze
bakola checking tebakuchecking kati akabbo oyingiramu otya nako nga toli asha kubanga obubbo bwe bagenda okukozesa bubeera already prepared and kept somewhere
honorable among those abalonze abalatinga bana just thinking
anti nange bwe ndowooza nti abasomeeyo deal kubaka tugiyite deal kati twandigitesi abasomeeyo deal babeera munda mu bo
imagine organizers sente zo ne zigwa mu kabbo k'omuyala
ate kati surprisingly abo bebasobodde okukwata. But I believe there were so many that were not intercepted that continued. Kimu kyekumi ne bakyerira.
Nalabye omukyalo omwe yabadde part of the organizing committee nga yeebaza Mr. President agamba yabawadde 1.5 billion okulaba nga bateekateeka omukolo gwabaddewo olunaku lw'eggulo. Era namwebaza nnyo naye nagattako n'abalala. But that isn't the reason why kati kyenjagala twogereko olunaku lwaleero is bannayuganda conviction eno gye bayina eri Christ, can it be transferred to them demanding for something that is political conviction gye bayina nti abantu abatufiiririra ab'e Namugongo biki and they are committed coming to Namugongo every year okubanga basabirayo because they believe. Is there a leader asobola okuorganizinga bannayuganda to have that same conviction towards a political transition?
Mu communication ezabaddewo olunaku lwajjo e Namugongo on both of the shrines eyaba Katoliki n'eyaba Protestant.
Yes.
Most of the people talked about corruption in this country.
Yeah.
But the way they were talking about corruption, to me, babadde nga abakyejjako tukyogereko so that the people can at least feel comfortable and hear that we have said something. No, oyogera ku kintu ng'akikola waali ogamba Mugambe. Nedda Farida. What I'm trying to mean, engeri gye bakyogeddeko babadde nga bagamba katumale gakyogerako
kutuusa
omukolo gutuukirire so that people out there can never say that no, the leaders or the priests at the Uganda Matters Day
never talk about
had an opportunity, had the gathering, had the thieves there, had the corrupt there in their presence, but they did not say anything about that. You understand? Ati nibakyogerako kukyogerako. But surprisingly, abakulembeddemu, most of those corrupt people that we know, that we have seen for years, that we have followed, bebabadde batudde mu maaso. And I've always talked about this.
Because
I've always talked about this, that the church itself and its leaders, because they want to be beneficiaries of the proceeds that come out of corruption and theft of government and taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about these thieves when they are seeing them. No. Instead, they want to bring them closer so that yabayisa makabaako. Oh no. Kuba yabye nnyo yalina okuteekamu ekisinga ku ky'oli omulala. Because look at the instance. Waliwo abantu abatambula kuva Kenya. You understand?
Yeah.
Because of what they believe in, because of their faith.
Yeah, true.
You understand? Nebatuuka, I don't know how long it took them, but they managed
arrived
to be in Namugongo.
Yeah.
Naye abo abantu, those are some of the people that were not having seats in Namugongo on such a day. Laba ku maanyi ge baateekamu, laba ku kukkiriza kwe balina okwabajja gye kwabajja ne kubaleeta e Namugongo. But some of them had no seats. Bano ababbi abavudde mu Kampala nga bavuga n'eriddika nga zibakulembera be basoose okutuula naye batudde wali ku mwanju mu maaso. You get? That's ironical. That's ironical. Instead of giving the first priority to these people who have showed that what we are doing,
so
we actually mean it.
mu bintu bya Katonda bibeere bya first come.
First come, as usual. That's how it used to be back then. Ne mu Bible bwebityo bibaabeeranga. Tesaalabangayo abakulembeze nga be batuula mu maaso Yesu we yabeeranga nedda. Naye abaasookangawo be baafunanga omukisa okumusembera.
Me imagining a situation where Mr. President is at the back.
Leave alone the
The
president.
congregation.
Leave alone the president. Leave alone the president. But I saw so many of them, including the ministers, including the MPs, including the speaker, gwe bakakubako sanctions, ne bamuwaaka kisa.
Yes, that's what I was.
You know, yagambye she's facing the sanctions because of her fight against the homosexuality. Ate n'abakulu b'eddiini nabo ne bamuwagira ne bamuwa amaanyi bagamba yes, beera mugumu tujja kutuuka kukuwangula. But now when we talk about that, a bill that was a private member's bill, Anti-Homosexuality Act.
Yeah, true.
You understand? Introduced by Honorable Asman
Masari. Why isn't he
Why
facing sanctions?
why wasn't he the first person to be sanctioned? Naye the speaker is just looking for what we call damage control.
Anoonya ekyokwekwatako.
Gyakivaamu.
Yeah.
I think she also wants sympathy from the people that are against homosexuality. Yes, Anzi teyanfiirira. Because I saw her say that she's carrying a cross of 48 million Ugandans.
Yes.
No, but me, I am not part of that 48 million.
Why?
No. Which
Do you
cross
support
is she carrying?
homosexuality?
Which cross is she carrying?
The sanctions is
No, she's
facing,
just-
it is the cross she's carrying.
But what are the reasons they are giving in the sanctions that are put on her?
Nati yagamba ebiba byekwasa okusinziira ku ye. Because yagamba amabaati ge beekwasa yagazzaayo. Si gamba nti yagakozesa. Yagazzaayo ate n'ayongeramu.
Farida, Speaker Anita Mo, lawyer.
Yeah.
She's a qualified lawyer. She understands okukwata n'ebintu ebibbe. That's also an offense. To find in possession of stolen goods. That's an offense itself. Oba wabibbye oba tomanyi gye gyavudde, but they are stolen goods and they found you in possession of the same goods. That's an offense, and that is punishable under the law. You understand? In fact, n'ekitutu kumutwala mu kooti n'enandutu n'erugorobi speaker yandibadde asookayo, because by the time you accept to buy the iron sheets and replace them, it means you have admitted of your involvement in the stealing of those iron sheets. Because if you claim that you did not know that these iron sheets belong to the Karamajongo people, why do you buy them and now you say that I'm now replacing them and I want to be a free person? You get? Nti oyo yekennyini bandimukutte ne bamusalira n'okumusalira because she has already admitted of her involvement in the stealing and taking of the iron sheet.
Yeah.
You get? But there is a person who introduced that bill, because it was not the speaker who introduced the bill. Why isn't he the first person to be sanctioned by his government? Yasoka ne kwasa UK simanyi bwe batyo bwe babeera, later on ne US ne mugoberera naye ne muteekako sanctions. Twali tuli awo ne UAE nayo ng'eri awo ne UK. So nti among the people that are fighting homosexuality in this country, and openly, there are so many, and some of them are still enjoying these privileges of traveling and visiting every country at leisure. Naraba ibaruwa yali eyitamu ng'asaba kugenda Roma alabe popu oba popu simanyi ndowooza yali ayagala mwegayirire eri abakulu bamukwatire ekisa era bamuddiremu yeetonde. You get? Naye bagigoba kwegamba.
I think maybe because she has ever been there, she thought Papa Jamoliriza. Could be
that
maybe.
Was an assumption. But you see, batugamba nga tuli bato enaku z'omu busy baana. Era ezono zangu y'okutuuka.
Do you really believe ensonga za sanctions zino ntuufu nti beekutte ku corruption oba nabo balina hidden agenda?
I can't tell because I was not part of them when they were making these sanctions, but from what we see, and these are things that are made
because
public.
Nanti omuntu yebuuza why are they sanctioning abantu nga babalonda atenga corruption kasikando gye beekutteko yalimu abantu bangi.
Yalimu bangi.
Kati kuno bayongeddeko
process by process. Ekitegeera nti kuno tebasanctioninze bakulu bokka abaali benyigiddemu directly, but
ne
famire zaabwe nazo bazigatteko kubanga bye babba eno babitwale waka ne bigatta
ne biyamba famire zaabwe.
So mu nsonga ze batuwadde ffe ze tuliko
ze mutwala temuziwakanye
kati tuziwakanye tutya ffe tetwatuulayo gye batuula ne batuuka ku resolution egaba sanctions. Secondly, if all the reasons for making all these sanctions against the speaker rotate about the anti-homosexuality bill, president si yagisigninga si yagiteekako omukono gwalifuula etteeka eryaddala ye nga tebanaba kumusanctioning.
Nanti bagamba singa ono teyakkiriza kulireeta mu parliament teryalituuse wa minister.
Ababaka abaali babeera ku TV wano nga bavumirira oba nga bawagira act eyo bameka be bakateekako sanctions.
Otandika n'omunene ono yali head wa parliament.
Eyalireeta ye kennyini eyo nsonga nkulu kubanga singa teyalireeta speaker teyandiriikiriza mu parliament. Ige naye abantu bagezaako buli omu abafuna way out. Era olina okuteekako ensonga ekkiririza banno.
The speaker nti bandibanga bakikozesa manyi omuntu asobola okupanishinga for something else n'akuwa akasonga akalala naye nga ekintu kyennyini ekyamunyiza takyogera.
Ne bw'aba takyogedde but as long as n'akasonga kawadde wakeenyigiramu naye aba mutuufu. Kuba singa speaker teenyigira mu kubba amabaati g'ekalamoja ndowooza tebandibadde n'ensonga. But if they wanted to sanction her as well, they would have been clear that we are sanctioning you because of this act. You see, to be a clean person, it takes a lot of things.
Yeah, true.
Always avoid any kind of mistake that can land you in danger at all costs.
So should we say
Jako all those excuses nti kati Farida bagala taddamu kukyaza mighty drive okitegeera naye katugambe Farida ina kye yakoze but maybe bajja kwekwasa engeri gyatuddemu mu show ya leero. Kati why don't you sit well so that they don't get that mistake and give you maybe a clear mistake if that's the reason as why they want to stop you.
Mbo this sanction zigenda kuyambako corruption wani no mu Uganda okendera.
Most probably, yes. I believe. Abantu baneekuba mu mitima bagambe saagala kubeera nga speaker. Nkyayagala okutambula. You get? So some of them can change. You see, most of us here learn from the experiences of the others.
Okimanyi nti waliwo kano bannayuganda oba munnayuganda omu atasala na kugenda Kenya and he is not bothered. And it does not, that doesn't mean him but
webali recently the speaker yatugambye yeetaaga visa eje emutwale Bukedi. But surprisingly when the sanctions came she was too angry She was too angry. Era kyamuluma nnyo. Me, I thought she wasn't even
But at first,
interested at all.
when sanctions came from UK, she said she doesn't even have a postcard in the UK. So whether they sanction her or not, it does not really affect her.
But
maybe
if you are, for example, me, if I'm not interested in attending or coming to be part of a mighty drive at Digitalk, and Digitalk says we shall never in our lives host Kato on our shows,
Yeah.
and I have never had an interest in coming to Digitalk to come
does it
and
affect you
attend
in
the
any
mighty
way?
drive. Why should I even talk about it? First of all, it is not in my needs.
Yeah.
I don't need to be here. Secondly, I have no interest of applying to come and be hosted on a mighty drive. So if you don't want to host me, how does that bother me? Because it's kwetaga lwaki kati gonemerako. You get? But when she comes out and cries out loud on such sanctions, now we start to doubt her, what she says. Because if you saw her first parliamentary sitting she was hearing after the sanctions, she was really sad. And she talked to the emotions, and I'm like, okay, but you never wanted to go to UK. You only want to be in Kenya, so why are you bothered? Tunetaga nange
sikwetaga.
Hey, buli omu akola ebibye. And she would be at peace actually. They would have saved her of the burden of traveling all those miles to the UK.
Because she has the liberty to go to Kenya. It is the only visa she wants as in,
so
according to her.
If she's not interested in the UK now, why is she bothered by the sanctions? She's actually giving it a mileage. Because talking about it, you're also promoting it. And you are making it a big deal so that the UK can also center on the same. And
Talking about the sanctions.
And they also say, Chitegeza, bana abantu. But to take a sanctions, chibaluma.
Yeah.
So they have to add up and also keep working on the other corrupt people so that
if those sanctions really work, bagateko n'abalala abali mu kulya sente z'abannayuganda.
They work because Anita Among as a speaker is not the first person to be sanctioned by this government. So many other people, including Abel Kanduho, who used to head the same one, including Jeno Keyura, or there are so many.
Okuno batereddeko ne General Erwelu for the killings in Kasese.
But I think they had delayed. That one is very justified.
Your sanctions zimugwana.
Katulayo banaya naddayo yekwase anti-homosexuality act.
That one is kwasa, but he cannot come out. But when I know lwaki azekwasa anti-homosexuality bill, because he is just hearing, I think. Na ye ku nsonga za sanctions nyawa tugateko ne letters za Mr. President but zitambula okuva mu State House. Abamu ne bafunira mu a chance nabo ne bateeka mu letters ne basigningako the President of Uganda. What does this communicate kusinzira ku political atmosphere eriwo?
Anyway, to me at some point I felt and I have always had this feeling that these letters are even linked by the person in the State House itself. And at some point I want to believe that these were genuine letters. But maybe before they linked, because they linked before they could be served, then the president had to recall them. Because omanyi abannayuganda bamanyi okugezesa. Especially on social media.
How the public will react.
How the public react. So when it gets a lot of attraction and attention and people are reacting in a sarcastic way and maybe they are giving it go ahead, this is what you have always been waiting for. So the president can record it and say, that was a fake story, and immediately you will see what's his name?
Is it unlawfully Munnayuganda okubeera ne properties ebweru?
No. It is recognized because you can own property anywhere.
So why do we see the president stating that we want you to tell us whether in a property wait mu UK?
But that one now drives you. Ojukira IGG Kamya where later idea yokola what was it called? Audit kubantu.
Yes.
President navayo nagamba no ababbi baffe baleke batubbe as long as whatever is invested here. Yes. So now when a person in a position of a speaker now steals and roots from Uganda and now takes to the UK, now it makes the president annoyed because his intention is that steal but
Develop
here. Okay? He has no problem with that. As long as you are stealing and your route is invested in Uganda, he has no problem. But by the time now you start stealing and rooting in Uganda and now taking abroad, it means you are corrupting our economy. That is in his mind. So he has to be interested and show the other thieves that as much as you steal, I know that one, because he has said he has always known about corruption in this country.
Yes.
He knows who are corrupt and who are not corrupt. But he
just
still appoints the same people that are corrupt that he knows. Because most of these people steal and invest here. So the money stays in the saturation and in the development of this country, which
he's
in
okay
his
with.
intention, he's okay with it. But by the time you start stealing and now invest outside Uganda, then you are becoming a problem.
That's why
First of all, you are a thief. Secondly, you are corrupt. Thirdly, you are taking the money out of the country. It means you are leaving a very big gap in our economy as a country. And that is different from his ideology and his agenda. You get? So he has to be interested so that he sends a very big message to the rest of the thieves in this country
that are investing
corrupt
outside
people
Uganda,
that want to steal and invest out of Uganda. Okitegeera nti n'abamu kati abadde aziina ng'alinze okugenda naye agule mansion ebweru ajja gamba omusajja tampandiikira ebbaluwa. So I think that's the way he wants to control his thieves and corrupt people in this country.
So when you say your thieves should steal and invest in Uganda, are you really fighting corruption?
But he has said if he wants to fight corruption, he can fight it in a day. Doesn't take a lot of time. To him.
So what is this we are
times.
seeing him like yesterday twamulabye nga ayogera na mugongo nga ayogera kuba public servants nagamba naba warning obutenyigira mu bikolwa bya corruption. So ekyo kiraga nti akola public statements tumugambe mbo Mr. President afaayo.
Exactly kinagambye. Olwokuba babbi yabadde atudde nabo ng'abalaba. Ng'abalaba.
He knows on abba bweziti, he knows oli abba bweziti.
But I think when people when time goes on, people change. If you remember the president of this country in around in the late 80s, 87, 88, 89, 90, the president who used to be in public places with a piece of chalk on a blackboard, educating people how corruption is bad.
Yeah.
It's not the same president who is now talking about it. I know the thieves, I know how to handle them, but tugende mpora mpora. So he has now since changed. He has now since changed his mind on the approach about corruption.
Yeah.
Because most of the people that are involved in corruption are people that are close to him, are the people that he appoints. Because twalaba abantu abalabikira musaga y'okubba amabati g'ekalamoja. As small as the iron sheets can be, atika teri battery ya sentiment.
Bantu banene beere. Prime Minister, Vice President, Minister of Finance, Abekaramoja.
But you saw,
Speaker of Parliament.
In fact, my expectation when he was appointing the new cabinet, I had a feeling, and a very strong feeling, that most of the people that were involved in this scandal would not appear anyway. But surprisingly, I almost surprised you. Ali mukoti over the stealing of the iron sheets. As a minister. Matia Kasaija yetagambwa akoye. The speaker herself. But it shows that the political will to fight corruption is just at zero. It's just at zero. Abantu bava just call political statements and just make it there.
So why do we see the Mr. President reacting so quickly ku nsonga za Madam Speaker?
Nanti nakugambye nakuwadde example. Kuba yabba n'abitwala
ebweru.
So he has now to get interested in finding out, is it true?
How much has invested outside?
Do you own that house or you are renting it?
Era bwe twabagamba okwogera bye muyina wabyogerako.
You must declare. You must declare. This is what I own. But surprisingly, most of the people don't talk about such kind of things. And small things that matter are not actually disclosed. Because when you talk about corruption and misuse of public funds, it goes and stretches far much way beyond what we talk about every day. Nti Parliament bwe betandika tukwata miliyoni 210 netuzuwa ababaka bagule moto. You understand? And my thinking and what is supposed to be done is that the car you buy out of the 210 million should be worth 210 million and not less. Naye kati obasanga we nabo bavuga wishi bavuga
ate nga bateesa ne bagamba nti ababaka tebetaaga bumotoka obwo bujja kubakuba mu
bavuga zikawundo almost
Yeah,
like
most
the
of them.
normal
But
but how many people
Za 50
never
million.
nabavaayo mu parliament basechikubo with all due respect abagala fighting corruption. Why can't they start from that? Buli mbaka je motoka ya milioni 210 zeyagura balete ne receipt, they account for these things, but we receipt bagambe nze yange yino era najigura nga parliament etandika, because if you even delayed and bought it after like 1 year then you misuse that money. It means wasoka nozitwara nozikuba mukafuna n'olyoka ogula emotoka, and this is what the law should be talking about and handling.
Awo wenyini tugenda kubanga tukomawo ku nsonga ya Theodore Sekikubo kubanga collecting signatures okubanga essentially nga ba commissioners abamu bagamba mbu benyigira begabire sente za award, service award okuli omukulu Mathias Mpuuga. Ate n'ensonga twogereko ku mobilization drives ezibadde zikolebwa aba NUP, ate nga bo police yavuddeyo ne bayimiriza olw'ensonga nti bafiirwa abantu 3 nga bali e Masaka. Tuwumulamuko katono nnyo tukomawo.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hi, Rogers. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes, it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.
Are you craving for that special meal that will entice your taste buds and leave you with lasting thrilling memories? Look no further. Spice Island Bulenga has got your answer. Natural, fresh and delicious juice, the best meals. Don't miss our daily specials from Monday to Sunday. Pizza Wednesday, Saturday Pizza Bonanza, you buy one and take two. Come dine with us and feel the experience. We are located at Prime Shopping Center in Bulenga, Mitiana Road. For inquiries, call us on 0704 11 1720. Spice Island, we treat your cravings.
Hi, welcome to the political dice.
Empichi y'ebyobufuzi.
It's controversial.
Purely political.
Well researched.
Accurate and global.
Oyagala bya parliament oba council.
Yes, state house oba ghetto.
Ani ayuga ku ground.
Ani gwe baabuze.
Okimanyi nga Dr. Kizza Besigye aleesa amaanyi.
Olwo fadda bafutoli abateeseemu obuvaazi.
Oba yo DP eri ku ki?
Olwo jeema.
Bano ba MKCG bo baddawa.
Abo bafuna CDF baamala tebabanja. Olwo baba ate bange bali ku ki?
Abo bo akina kulabisa simanyanga posturing tebabiri bali mu structure building. Naye ate ono ye.
Ani oyo oba?
Ye ali ku ki?
Oyo tumuleketa gamba apanyiga mangu.
Ebe ndabena birindira no ku the political dice ku the alternative TikTok nange teditenja ewamune.
Farida Bikobere
Buli wa Sunday
sawa 2.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Tukulikeyo mu kuwumulamuko tuba tuyingidde ekitundu kyaffe ekyokubiri program The Mighty Drive nze Farida Bikobere mu studio ntuddemu ne omukulu Kanso Kato Tumusiime twogera nsonga za wane ewaffe Uganda how you see ensi ekutambulira etya ensonga ezitambula sanctions eziyitaayita ate ne letters ezitambula okuva ewa Mr President nga zidde eno ezimu zidirectinga wa IGG ezimu zigamba iso munayinoonyereza ku nsonga eno kituufu speaker yatwala basi ya parliament n'agitwala ewuwe ku nursing school so munnange osanga awono omuntu yebuuza n'agamba yi kutandika ddi nga Mr President awa nnyo attention ku nsonga eziba zigenda mu maaso ku social media because ekintu ekyo kyatandikirwawo omukulu Kakwenza Lukira Basaija atalina wane eno nagamba naye one of the buses of parliament omukyala Anita Anet Amonge yazitwala naye nga kyazuuliddwa by ISO nti it is her own but she is the first owner of the bus era n'agamba nti make ya buses za parliament eyawukanira ddala ne basi ya mukyala Anita Amonge era nga basi ye registered mu Anita Foundation. I am seeing you laughing. I don't know whether
no,
you don't
because I've followed that story.
You don't believe the findings of ISO?
I followed that story. Kubanga bali baguze I think 4 buses
yes.
at the time. Emunejo omuliro. But remember it was nalabye bagamba it was replaced later because yali ekyali mu time from gye bali babawadde in case of anything kati bwe bagikomyawo because abasinga bali balowooza yajja omuliro used an opportunity to pick it up and drive it to Kenya.
So you really believe finding ya ISO nchanga sinzira ku finding kakale ku report
is actually possible.
Boje bawadde.
I have not seen at the report. Naye nalabye nga baddamu somewhere social media, but I have not followed deep in finding out what they included in that report. Ne base yokuna je yaraga ya parliament. Kakwenza, I don't know from his sources, he highlighted something very important, that it attracted the attention of the president, it attracted the attention of the Obakolangani Sabit, Joseph Sabit, parliament, over secretary was speak over PRO.
Piara.
In fact, yavuddeyo n'atulaga basi nga bwe yajja omuliro nga bwe byali bitya then so kwegamba bibuzaabuza zijja kukulira but to say I think people have now learned how social media can be impactful.
So what we should now demand for is the fourth bus of parliament.
We should demand now for
so
the
now
fourth
that
bus of parliament that is missing. Kati nayo batubuulire weeri kuba eno kati katugiveeko enerabika. So that we demand batulage endala yo yalagawa.
Eya parliament eyokuna yo yalagawa.
You may find it is packed nayo yali eparkinze mwezi zabeeranga enambole za Pioneer. Maybe.
Kisoboka, maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe it wasn't replaced.
But I am sure that Kakwenza will ask for that bus again because Katiyarabye what ISO has concluded, so he will still ask.
Because kusinzira ku report yabwe ku findings bagamba nti ne engine numbers zawukanira ddala n'eri bus gye bagamba nti
kati olaba if you are making such kind of a finding kuba kyemanyi details za bus eya parliament weziri the chassis number engine number byonna weebiri make model n'omwaka weebiri compare tugambe eya parliament yali make 2013 or 2015 this is the chassis number, this is the engine number, seating capacity yali bweti. Then no make ya 2020 chassis number engine number seating capacity yali make so you bring the two and say according to what is available and the evidence provided, these are two different buses. Would you have asked the same question a parliament area?
No.
It would be resolved the issue.
Exactly.
You get me? So that's how findings should be. Because when Bangamba in a simu ya Farida je yali aina somebody is saying katwe esimu je twamra bye nayo efanana nge ya Farida je yali aina to prove that this is not the phone jo government yabura. Then I will say no ya Farida yali iPhone no Tecno. I would have solved the story.
Exactly.
So anyway, maybe
so mukyokiriza okyali mwaka
kati wewe bagamba eyo gye twalabye kakwenza gye yagerako si ya parliament kati baturage ya parliament
I think that is what the public should demand for. Nti koke yadde eri gye mubadde mugamba nti gye tubadde tugamba nti ya parliament si
yo kati ya parliament.
So since you are the speaker of parliament, you need to find out a property.
You need to account.
Yes, you account. So yokune ya parliament yeriri. I think that is what we should be
and tell us yeriwa. Then we shall cross the story. But what I was trying to say is that now I believe that people have understood the power of social media. Since the time they started the exhibitions, naikati exhibitions they created a little bit of change.
Yeah.
It wasn't conclusive. It was not done perfectly as we hoped to be done or approached. But at least it tried its best.
Yeah.
Bayogerako ku binnya ebyali awo including industrial area kati boyitamu at least some part yadde akamu kakyali so messy but bagezaako naye ndowooza kati kwe exhibition nja kusaba abakulu ndowooza I will engage some of them today because when they talked about the potholes in the city twaraba nga baleeta SFC to take over and do the works. SFC yali tugambye in about 6 months. Tuli mbanga kikati.
Nanti nalaba I think last month nga batugamba nti waliwo ko shortage ya finances. But they had resumed work wali eri ko Old Kampala police station eri wansi eno ngolaba nti that had resumed.
When did you last pass that Old Kampala? Mulimu ekinyama kati wali
But they say they are going to start from there because akasente kaali kabulamu koko ndowooza ne bayimirizaamu kokola.
But okay maybe but you
see batugamba the reason why SFC are taking up that contract is because Bobi ayina machines ezokukola nga si private contractor anti atagenda agire machines endala ate bo abakola tebabasasula olwedde baba balina omusala gwa government tebasaba n'akasente katono okubanga baddaabiriza enguudo
z'Kampala. Nakugambye prime minister kyali yabuuza one of the contractors on the roads what basis what basis do you follow
and
award contracts. They said the lowest bidder takes it. So kati kinziza yeye wa SFC kubanga nabo reason ensonga lwaki babawa
manpower weri abwerere
akasente kebetaaga aleka basabye katono. So should we say they undervalued the work that they were supposed to do? Was the money not released as requested for? What has it taken now? It's coming to a year since they started that exhibition, if not even a year.
I think
in 6 months potholes will be history in Kampala. But now I hear people talk about that Kampala is the pothole city.
Yeah,
and it's known everywhere.
It is still a pothole city, but I think they're trying to do something.
Because I normally use so many roads here in Kampala. I no longer even see construction works going on. I'm not seeing any.
But so I had them last month.
The problem is over
the problem is still there, but balina financial shortages somewhere. I really want benefit because I remember them stating that.
Talking about that, there is what I want to talk about. You see, amakuba gamugabiramu ebinyanya nga bitonotono. That can be manageable.
Yeah.
At least ng'enfuufu si yenyingi. But there is a road Nigeria kuva Ekiwatule mpaka Kira. It takes you up to Kira.
Fufu area.
Mwalimu ebinya, but there was a little bit of tarmac.
Yeah.
So it was bearable. Yadde ebinya byali.
Ne,
So these people came, ne bakola ki? Ne bajjawo that tarmac on top. To my understanding, I thought that they would start the road construction like tomorrow.
Yeah, true.
Because why do you even remove the small tarmac that is actually on the surface and covering the dust place? When you are not even prepared, when you have not even thought about starting constructing that road. And like many other people were asking, President Museveni, engeri gye yabadde agenda na Mugongo singa yakozesezza eri ekkubo. I think by today we would have road construction started on that road, because you can not tell how dusty that place is.
But what delays contra ebintu emirimu nga bwe gityo genda maaso? Is it sente zirwawo okubeera nga bazita okuva mu wonna we zirina okuva? Oba abakwata sente basooka ne bazozaamu ne balyoka
kugerekyekalakalira oba I cannot speak something that because I don't have any evidence about that. But what I can say, most of these things, kubanga nze ntera okubalaba nga when they are appearing before Parliament.
Yeah.
Nagamba, yes, it's true, the money was released on time. Naye nga bamubuuza, where did that money go first? Nga talina na answer yakuddamu. But you see, eno government yabadira. Abasinga, most of these people are dealers. They are businessmen. Okay? Kati omuntu oyo bayinza okukwata sente ne baziyisa ku account ya Farida, for example. Okay?
Yeah.
So when Farida gets the money, remember the money is in billions and billions. That's a lot of money. Okay? Nga omulimu gwa kutandika in the next month, because they normally release the money so that the work can start immediately. But because badira betwina and they share, tigamba nti ali ayika. No, most of them share, because it is a whole system. If it's not all about sharing, then if money has been released for the 5 people and it is taken by one person, then the 4 should ask and demand for that money. Naye omuntu bamuwa sente in that month nazikwata, and they have to deposit it on their fixed account for 6 months or a year. Abasinga ng'ekiri erubo that specialized hospital, because money has been released so many times. But what they did was to bring the machines, and that was the end of the story. In about a week or 2 weeks ago, I saw ono PR or Minister of Everything aliya nga akuba akavideo nga atulaga machine aliya akakuba kondo was a broker nga 5. Since the other year they passed the first month, machine ya broker kati it is now working well. Naye waliyo broker, I think like 10 of them ngazebaka kuba.
So kuba brokers Alboa Hospital.
Yeah, Alboa Hospital. So most of these dealers bwafuna ezo sente za contract. So kanaziteka ku fixed deposit account. You can imagine how much profits, how much interest that money can make in 6 months. Because most of these are in billions, 200 billions, 50, 90 and plus. So ntiye ne bwaba zijjeyo ngo emyezi gye mukaaga giweddeyo, already the profit ze yakakora is enough for him to start a new life. Kati mwe mbonabone n'enfufu yammwe, nobody wants to care at the end of it. Kyebakola baleeta kimashini awo kigureda oba bibiri ne babiteeka ku kubo, so that you see that something is happening.
To give you hope, like waliwo ekigendo
okukolebwa. Kukireeta ne kiyitamu awo ne kisooka kibakuba enfufu nga muli enfufu, bagenda kuleeta bano abenkumbi n'ebitiiwo. They will keep rotating around as if something is going on, but in real sense tebalina na kikumi yadde ekitandikirwako, because we have had most of these people complain ng'akoze emyezi 6 tafunanga yadde omutwalo, and these are people that are offering hard labor using these rudimentary tools. Kati omuntu we enkumbi n'ekitiiwo, when will they construct that road to the maximum that we deserve?
Abasoka kubaleta bagogole emyala
kugamba ne balyoka babayimiriza, and you think that there is something going on. in regards to the construction.
And that process takes like a year.
In real sense, there is nothing. Kubanga sente wezatukira ali mukuzozaamu. Because they share nakugambye. Because at the end of it, or they share the interest and the profit. Nobody will come and say, but
when money is released,
where is it? Why not starting the works?
So Ministry of Finance were releasing a center for a particular contract. Tekubeerako omuntu was following to see whether that money is doing what it is.
I don't know if they have that kind of mechanism to track that money. Because mostly what happens, there is one contractor, number one contractor. Okay? In most cases, Bwegaba Makobo, UNORA is the first contractor. You're receiving a sale. But because they don't have the capacity to construct all the roads, so they do subcontracting.
Yeah.
So they get Farida and they give you a subcontract to take on.
Because as a Ugandan, they expect nti bweba releasing a center, and then they said twagala kola lugudo lwa Machindi Rukuli, and we are going to do it in this period. Kati within that period, tusuubira omuntu okuyitako ku kkubo lye bagamba lye bagenda okukola.
In fact, I know kubanga abeerawo nga monitoring which kind of work are you doing, what's the quality. You get? So to avoid all these issues, ekkubo balimaze, but you start complaining and say that the quality
is it the right measurements? I thought someone should be there to supervise all
exactly. That's the idea. That's what is supposed to be done. But now come to the reality. Omwana kuddeewuwa nyanywa amata because
omwana agenda kubuuza ye lwaki ontambulirako lwaki ontambulirako nnyo ngenda kubanga ate nzirako ku nsonga za omukulu Theodore Ekikubo ono yakulemberamu babaka banne n'agamba anoonya signatures weewaawo tannazifuna yagenderera 177 signatures from the honourables in parliament ng'agamba nti ekigendererwa kye ayagala zino signatures zimuyambako okubanga ate bowling motion in parliament. Censoring aba commissioners olw'okwewa service award eya 1.7 billion. So mu mateeka we twagala wenbuuliza council esente ezayisibwa mu budget nga zayisibwa mu mateeka kisobokera okuvaayo ate ababaka bano ne bakusensoringa for the same money ate nga tewazifuna mu bukyamu.
Anyway, I've followed this kind of debate. Kwezi sente that service award.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, if you look at the paperwork that is available, a service award bagiyisa nga abantu bakyali mu office era nga bakyakwa. You get, at the end of it all, if you are awarding somebody for their good service, the reality should be that you award them after delivering whatever they are doing. Ng'ekisanjo kyabwe kiweddeko, then you do the assessment and say sinzira their performance and what they have been able to deliver, they have delivered well, so they deserve to be awarded. But when you award me, sininga when nazze wano ku show, you didn't know what I was going to talk about. Would you have given me an award?
No.
Maybe for coming and being here.
Maybe appreciating you for coming.
You get? But if you want to award me, maybe for the good work that I've done, then award me at the end of the show. Because at the end of it all, we would have assessed and be able to come up with the conclusion that whatever I intended to achieve was achieved. You understand? So, that's the number one issue. Number two, commission your tool, like it normally sits. Okay? And plans for how parliament shall run. Naye mukakiiko akakatuula, that's where everybody decided and said buli omu katumuwe such kind of amount of money amongst themselves. Ideally and logically, under the law how it's supposed to be done, is that the commission seat comes up with a budget, or comes up with an ideology, or comes up with something that will manage them. They come up with proposals. Okay? So when they come up with proposals, because parliamentary commission helps in planning and preparing how parliament shall run.
The commission
proposes. But the commission does not come with the final say on how parliament shall run its businesses. So when they come with a proposal, they now table it before the whole house.
And the whole house didn't
disagree. The whole house
said yes.
Debates, okay? And votes. But what Honorable Sekikubo is saying is that the commission sat, made the proposal, passed the proposal, and awarded itself money.
So
It
that
was
same
not
issue
brought before.
never appeared before Parliament.
Yes, that's what he's saying. And that's what most of the MPs are saying. Because if it had been brought on the floor of Parliament, at least most of us would have heard about that before. But basoka ne bachikweka ate kyajira mu exhibition, by the way.
So since the commission mwe yatula neeyisa esente 410 million ezemotoka ezababa,
It's the same.
why did they challenge that?
But that one was brought before Parliament. In fact, the truth is, I need to, I think, study the mind of the Honorable Sechko. First of all, you just took you. Why they didn't complain about the money for buying cars? Just took you. But what he's raising is a very pertinent issue, and legally, it is upheld. It can be sustainable, okay? Because the commission sat and awarded itself without following the procedures. So he's right. But now, the other issue now will come on, what about the other monies that have been moving around Parliament?
Nga commission tezirese before.
Never zirese. But if indeed you want to fight corruption, and if indeed your fight is for the good of us, the taxpayer, why haven't you come before and talk about these other issues? Zino zetubera onetulira buli mbaka bamuwadde million 5 Why haven't they talked about it? But because maybe this one was a benefit of a few people, about the 7 of them, and it ignored the rest of the parliamentarians, that's why everybody is coming up to say, nedda, temulia mweka. And in the end, but surprising, don't be shocked that this censure motion will actually not be appealed, not even be presented before
Ekisoka tanaweza second chance.
Tanaziweza. Namulidde lulinga akaba gamba.
Mbubagala kumubba.
Ababaka babatwala Nairobi simanyi ne Mombasa bali eyo bali mukweyagala. They are hiding them. Okay?
All 500 plus.
Ababulayo oli yajja n'ayagala okubba sigiri n'ayagala dduke nazo honorable macho. You look at the parliament and see and wonder whether these are actually our representatives.
You did not vote?
I did not vote.
Unfortunately, when Nalonda,
if I voted, I think I would be the ugliest man here. Because you look at the parliament. Echirara. A essential motion never was in parliament. And there was a Jakuja just to give us news. But we will go get a.
Why do you think?
And started discussing now the legitimacy of parliament, whether it is independent or not independent. Chino chisanja chenyini chino. Chino oba chiri echagwa. Base sharinga honorable passes na Muganda.
True.
Tebamse sharinga.
Yeah.
Isn't she a minister?
She is.
Isn't she a member of parliament?
Era yazena yo signinga kuba censoring.
Na ina mrabiga censoring.
And she was like, I think her whole reason why she was signing is because abam censoring karuli kwaliko mpuga. So she's now here to censor him.
She's revenging.
She's
but
revenging.
now look at yourself, and I think they're wasting our time. Surely they're wasting our time. If the censorship that was legitimized, that the parliament voted, and a member of parliament, a minister was censured, but it was not taken into action.
Nasigalanga minister.
Nasigalanga minister nga nomusala bwa benefits afuna ne parliament atura front bench. So what do you expect? And what motivates Honorable Sechko that after censuring the commissioners, the censure motion will just take action? What? Because look at the precedents, you know, history teaches us so many things.
Exactly.
And how they are supposed to be done. If you did it the other time and it was not actualized, what motivates you? And what makes you believe that this time it will be actualized and it will materialize? Are we not wasting our time?
I think yes, yaddenga waliwo ba political actors abalala bagamba nti that is Theodore Sekikubo for you everyone term ngenetera okugwa kafunayo akabadi kazanya abeerayo n'akasonga ke yeefubako such that abeera mu bantu tubeera tumwogerako tumutukiza abalonzi nti Theodore is there, Theodore is doing something about ku nsonga ya meaningful representation.
Ekyo nakigamba dda most of these MPs ababala okitegeera
Kati babala 26.
ekisanja kiweddeko kati nzirayo ntya mu bantu nzirayo ntya. So you have to do something that makes the rest of the people think and feel that you are actually working for them. But where is the reality? You're just there. Now, correct the signature. Do the censure and we see.
You never know.
Kuba yakewa deadline kati guno siku akusatu.
Gwakusatu luli yatugamba we are ending, they were supposed to end last week.
And they said they are ending today on 4th.
Yeah.
But now the other time he was crying that the MPs were
in Nairobi.
They were in Nairobi enjoying life. There is no.
That was also excuse telling me.
Nene speaker namulabanga atukako ku meza ya Sechikubo. I will remain neutral. I don't want to take.
But she has to remain. I don't think she's remaining neutral because Commissioner Yayi says the same.
She's chairperson.
She chaired the commission, so I don't want to think she's remaining neutral.
But now the other question we should be asking ourselves. The other question we should be asking ourselves: if the commission acted unlawfully, and that guarantees its censorship, won't it affect the speaker? Why is he not talking about the speaker? Because if you were to censor the commission for awarding itself money, it was chaired by the speaker. Why is he not among the people that
I think maybe because the speaker wasn't awarded.
But she chaired a commission that acted illegally. So if your reasons for censoring the other commissioners is giving themselves an award that was illegal under the law, then what about the person who chaired? Because I believe that if a member, a backbencher, brought that motion or proposal before the commission, the chairman was supposed to be the one, the chairperson was supposed to be the one to say it passes or it doesn't pass.
True.
And by the time that the money was awarded, then it means the chairman gave it a go ahead, the chairperson. Therefore, she should be the first one on the list to be censured.
Kunsonga yenyini tamwogera maybe because talina muwendo gwa sente guli attached to her, so yatunulidde bano abalina 500 million 400
but the
million.
issue should not be about how much everybody got. The issue should be how did you award yourself this money. That should be the issue. Look at the process it followed for each and everyone to get that money.
Okay.
Then include the speaker. She should head the list as the chairperson. In fact, the whole commission. Bonaba baba century.
Weewaawo ndowooza mukulu Theodore ensonga yazikwatamuko obulala naye nga tujja tambulirawo mpola mpola. Wiiki ewedde poliisi yakiriyalinga aba NUP kubanga batalagibwa nga aba FDC Katonga bwe babadde bali mu kkola ennaku zino era munnaye ne batandikira emukono ne babeera ne successful. Kati obe yebeera ki obe beera rare abantu bajja bangi nnyo. It was a public rally, so ne bagenda e Masaka unfortunately ne tufiirwa abantu basatu. So poliisi nevaayo neragira nti bayimiriza okutambula kwa NUP. We were expecting them today Tuesday parliament kubeera somewhere, but they stopped them olw'ensonga gye babadde batambuzaamu ebintu byabwe. Gwe nga munnamateeka atunuulira ensonga z'ebyobufuzi, what do you have to comment about that whole procession?
Yes, first of all, it is good that when police met with the leadership of NUP, they harmonized a few issues. Because much as the constitution guarantees us our rights and freedom, which includes the freedom to assemble, to join the rest of the people and talk about your issues. Okay? It is limited somewhere, somehow. Okay? And the police used now its powers because they whatever they were saying was rotating around security of the people that you are moving with as a procession. Because if you have seen how NUP and other, and including even Kanobe, how they are moving, he doesn't move alone. So he has so many people surrounding him. And remember, we are in a situation where everybody now is talking about the insecurity that we have as a country, including the ADF. So to avoid all these kind of collisions, now the police called them, come, let's harmonize a few issues so that we can be able to guarantee you and provide you with a security that is reasonable for everybody of us. Because that's their role, ideally. To protect people and their property. Okay? So after that kind of meeting and agreeing on a few issues, updating the police on which ground you want to use, which roads you want to use, and the police also guiding you now. Before, instead of using this road, now use this one. Instead of using this space, maybe it is smaller, use this one, so that you can be on the same page. So when they reached the conclusion and the consensus, they agreed and everything moved on well. Including in Mukono, everything was okay. Okay? But now, going to Masaka, an accident happens. What causes the accident, according to the police, is the recklessness of the people that were following the Honorable Chagula. Okay? Which people are part of the NUP and are part of the, I think we are calling them mobilization campaigns. Umanyi, it is always good to have an agambi. Always find ways of not leaving anything that can implicate you anyway. To take a call, excuse you, no, to janaitamu okoi. Tomuwa, be straight as you are. But because the accident rotates about the recklessness, I think they talked about moving in big numbers and blocking the traffic flow. So you are now giving the police head, now a reason as to why they should block you. And I believe, to me, nobody will actually come to question the powers of the police. Because its role is to protect the people and their property. Now we have lost lives because the people that are following your procession are just reckless. You see, they call themselves Zanurure. They call themselves Zanurure. Me have seen them stop other cars and the traffic can just be blocked for about an hour. And what you're asking, what I'm always asking myself is, if yes, you are so many, that one we have accepted, okay, you are so many, and you want to follow your president of the NUP, why can't you be ordered, at least take your same lane? Why do you have to block the whole road? You also want these people to leave the road so that you can pass. Mwezo processions is we always have these people. That's how you hear people crying.
You can never determine who is joining.
Why do you always have to create an environment that brings excuses to your tormentor, as we may call them, the police? Okay? So, police, I think every after procession, they go and make an assessment. How did this go? Okay? When Masaka waranga wakozesa tear gas because of their loudness. The police is telling you, but we agree the other time. Temuita mchibuga, use the other one. Because when muita mchibuga, you paralyze the businesses of the people. You look at our economy and how we are suffering as Ugandans. So if you paralyze 2 hours in the city, as massacre as it is,
business entambula,
then it means you have affected so many people that are even coming to Kampala. If you have used that road and you see the food products that are coming from that side to this side, it means omuntu abadarinze etoke eyara isikoli vembarara lije Kampala obe yamata obe yachi obo monde obachi, then it means that person will die in Kampala because they have the supply of what they are intending to eat has been delayed because you have a procession and you are going to address the people in Masaka. You get? So you are creating all the reasons for the police now to justify the reason why they should stop you. We have lost lives. That's, in fact, they did not talk about the issue that happened in Masaka when they told Honorable Chagula to use a different route, not the town. They did not talk about that. The reasons as why they are stopping the processions and the mobilization campaign is because the last campaign you had, the procession, and that's justifiable. Even if it's you, Farida, you wouldn't want to hear that somebody closer to you, somebody closer to you has died because they are just reckless and going for a procession and a mobilization campaign. So, to solve all these problems, always avoid any weak point that the police can use to
So how best should Kyagulanyi and the abalala political actors know handling ensonga zino nti yes we want to mobilize because they have to mobilize because politics atambulira ku bantu. So how best should they do this?
To me, I believe, and I don't see any justification as to why, if you are going to Masaka, why would you move with thousands and thousands from Kampala to distract other people, other road users? Because the ideology of mobilization, I think you're mobilizing a specific area. Do you need to carry people from Kampala to now go and mobilize my people in Tungam? Does it add any sense?
No, my vibe.
No, to me.
To give that vibe.
In fact, what they are doing to me.
So those have been allegations. Is it so? It is true. Abantu bano batambula n'abantu abalala from Kampala
Farida
to those specific places.
Farida, you have followed the news. How many people live there? I've met them on several occasions on different roads. But it is always a procession coming from Kampala. Most of the people are coming from Kampala. You get? But if your intention is to go and mobilize people in Masaka, don't you have supporters in Masaka? Because Masaka voted NUP.
Yeah, true.
All the leaders, including the councillors, including the mayor, including the MPs, are all from Masaka, and they are NUP members. It means you have the capacity to get the numbers there, than be creating all this kind of roadness and creating all these excuses to have your consultative meeting or mobilization campaigns blocked.
So the police should just guide them?
Exactly. They should be guided and say, if you need the leadership of the NUP, how many are they in Kafure? How many do you need? How many are relevant for this kind of an event? Take that one, go with 2 cars. What do you lose? Because at the end of it all, these people that are following you from Kampala are already mobilized. They are supporters and they are wherever. Why do you have to carry them and take them to Masaka? And I believe if Honorable Kyagulanyi stands and says, as we resume our mobilization campaigns, okay, we shall find everybody in their respective districts. Because I believe there is a time he will come in Kampala, specifically to mobilize the people of Kampala. Let them wait for him here. Okay? You've seen General Muntu go and doing his mobilization campaigns. Have you seen all these kind of processions? Do you think he doesn't have the numbers from Kampala to follow him? But because there is a way he wants his activities planned, he doesn't want to leave any room for the police or any other security organ to have an excuse against him and have him blocked for continuing with
I think that is what exactly happened when they were going to Kamuli. And he knew for sure borders and he's there and he wants his people by the
bridge. You get?
So now you are creating scuffle with the police over nothing.
That's how we end up using tear gas, and then the next time we shall see people cry and say, why is the police using tear gas? And you know, you're creating unjustifiable reasons as to why you should be allowed to continue with such kind of campaigns and mobilization. Obviously, he's always moving here. But his difference is most of the time he moves from Kampala and he's going somewhere. He moves and the people find him around there. I have no problem with people finding you in a town. For example, as he was going to Masaka, you will reach Chengara, people will be there. They will move at you. If you have a word for them, you say it and proceed. But you don't need all these thousands and thousands of views and rural as they are. The police told you these people are using attires that resemble the ones of the security organs, and they told you, please stop.
And
you as a leader, you have stopped because I saw Honorable Kyagulanyi putting on a different cape, not the
this
beret.
one, the round.
But the other people now that are following him, some are putting on green berets, some black, some red, and I'm asking myself, why do you want to always create situations where you are now on the defensive side? Because you have so many of them still in jail.
Should we say he has failed to control his supporters?
I don't think he has even tried. I think he's just doing it deliberately. Because I have heard even the leader of opposition coming and saying, no, tebaba tisa.
But he does not put it on.
Honorable Senyo nyaka coffee akambalira mu office
Tomulaba nko mu public ng'akayina.
Public akambala ng'ali kavule. But he tells the other people, amwe mwambale byammwe. Okitegeera? And which is bad. You're misleading these young people. The other time I saw Bamwita Bobi.
Bobi Yanga. He was arrested.
And I think this should give us a lesson as young people, as lovers of change. It's however much you need change, but you don't need that change to find you in the grave because you will not enjoy it. You don't need that change to find you in Ruzira. You don't. Because you have a life to live as an individual. Okay? You have a life to live. You have people that sympathize with you. You have people that follow you. You have people that you inspire and people that admire you. Okay? And you should know that the day you are arrested and taken to Ruzira, life will continue on. Mobilization will go on. Bobi Yanga bamusiba mukono negenda maso.
It was
bavude masaka. Nobody even felt his absence.
Exactly.
I want to believe that one. And if that one thinks in everybody's mind, then we shall have a youthful generation that means what they do. You get? You must have love for somebody, but also first love yourself. The person who is telling you, what comes into your head? And you have a number of people that have been arrested because of putting on the same beret. So why do you want to risk yourself? Why? And that is what happens. And all the time they come here, they will be crying and saying, Mwanjua, Mwanjua. But it's you who did the same. Baba gamba mwebereremu nayo I don't know why you don't use that kind of
kigambo kya kwebereramu.
Buli omu alina okwebereramu like kole kikuyisawo.
I want you to comment on the numbers of youths ababeera bagoberera ababaka abo those political actors bona wona baba bagenze nti omuvubuka agenda kera ku macha as early as 6 bab campinze kavule and they are ready to move with Mr. President as they call him. So what does this communicate? Are the youths idle? Do they just need direction? Are they hopeless? What exactly?
I can say most of these, some of them are hopeless, very hopeless people. Hopeless, like the mama Chichidaku. And I want you to know that most of these politicians are manipulators. Exactly. They brainwash these youth. There is a way we will talk to them, and if somebody doesn't give himself time to resonate and internalize whatever has been told to them, they are easily manipulated. And these politicians have always told you that they are manipulators. Okay? They are very manipulative in a way that they will make you even lose a job here because you want to be next to the president.
Because oyagala Mr. President akulabe.
Akulabe. But bwakulaba, does he take food to your home?
No.
If you're arrested,
likely, no.
Does he follow you? So that because the NUP has a legal team. But you have seen people cry that they don't have legal representation.
They don't have lawyers to represent them.
Some of them even they don't know where they are. Okay? Instead of doing what is supposed to be done under the law, maybe go to court, file for production warranties, file for unconditional release, file for habeas corpus. They are just here in the news making noise. Including the leader of opposition, who is a lawyer, who knows what is supposed to be done, including the former leader of opposition, Puga, senior lawyer in town, including the seconders.
Instead of looking for me, a journalist with a camera, why are you going to the law?
You have so many MPs who are lawyers, who are advocates of the court, who knows what is supposed to be done to help their people come out of prisons. But what are they doing?
But they're doing something bad.
But the problem is all these people don't learn from what has been happening in the past. You know, most of the times when you forget the history, then you have no future that you are heading into. Because most of these youths, if they go home and reflect on the people they started the struggle with.
History, they learned nothing and forgot
nothing. You get? If they go home and reflect at the beginning of people power, at the beginning of the 2021 campaigns, how many people, how many youth started with them? Where are they? How have they ended? Then they wouldn't be wasting a lot of time. Instead, they would be looking for jobs and working. And then of it all, president of MP ajavaya barangire. Ekizibu kyamwe kiri kimu mwagala tubawoye 12 za cyane sana. But if you have manipulated these people to always follow you and leave their work, baba mune ba boda tebakora. Instead of going to their stages and looking for what to take home, now they are always
Akira
following
natekamu full
Chagulanyi.
tanka nagenda following Mr. President.
And you ask yourself, how do you benefit at the end of it all? Because most of these people that work with the secretariat,
because you can actually support Kyagulanyi and wait for the ballot day.
Exactly.
Ugenda omulonde.
Exactly. Because
Without
most of these
him.
people abakola ku secretariat z'ebibiina, they are paid. Do you know that?
Yeah,
Or you
please.
think they are
Bali
also giving
kumusala.
pro bono? So if we are all here for the struggle, why can't these MPs, why can't these leaders of opposition sente ze bafuna zonna ne tuziwa mu struggle ne tugamba we are supporting the struggle
that is
because we are
impossible.
sacrificing.
Ako tekajja soboka.
And what I'm trying to say is that if these youths that are very hopeless, that are manipulated, can understand that at the end of it all, MP ono gwoliko gwokubira akadingidde bagenda muwa miliyoni za 3 agende waka n'olukumi togenda kulaba, and that's how your life will go on. When do you think you will change and also be like him? Okay?
Yeah.
Nti leader of opposition avuga emotoka eyamuweebwa parliament. Simisolo gyaffe n'amafuta gabeera gaffe n'aba escort babeera baffe. Remember, every time he moves and leaves office, he has per diem that he gets, he has allowances that he gets. Are you a beneficiary of that kind of benefit?
Most likely no.
So it is no, most likely the answer is no.
Wasanga bamba basanga bagulira akashupa k'amazzi, then you have become a beneficiary.
But is your problem a bottle of water, Farida? Is that your problem?
If you can't address your problem as a youth, then you agree or you accept to be used by someone who thinks for you.
Yeah, but what I'm actually trying to mean is that these leaders have not done their role. Because in my own view, I believe that they should be shaping these youth and telling them, giving them a direction.
Exactly.
Yes, we want to be in a struggle. I've had people that have not completed their university courses because they are in the struggle. And these people forget that even when the government changes today, they will not employ you because you are a foot soldier, no. Because you qualify. Maybe if you want to have a short government that will just employ for the sake of employment. Because you have had these things. And then you start saying, ojjukira we twali eri ate bansiba university sisobola kuddayo oba. The leaders, instead of giving direction to these young people who are oppressed, people who are just waiting for the end of the day, and now are using that opportunity to manipulate and use them. Okay? Because I want to know, and I believe in my head that even after a successful mobilization campaign, mwaba boda wagenda baleka Masaka owa V8 ne amadika agenda vuga deye wakayewa. He doesn't want to know what happened to you. Because at the end of it all, you are not his responsibility. He knows where his responsibility lies.
Kasitano nyako banne bagenzi na 5-10.
Kati gobo china mugaso. Chabadde ayagala okimukoledde kiwedde tunadda mecha. That's what we normally tell people. Well, I find that today mecha. Because I have achieved what I wanted to achieve today, and we can plan for tomorrow. You get? But people don't sit down to reflect, and these leaders are now misleading the rest of the people. Instead of giving them the right direction on how they can shape this country a better way, then they're just using them, following them, and wasting all the day. Because I believe the day they leave here to Masaka, nobody will even earn a single coin. They will actually be making expenditures on their way to Masaka. And what you will tell him that it's him struggle. Because Tariq struggle. He might be even more than supporting the struggle more than you do. But because they have planned and made something for themselves,
shouldn't we say the high rates of unemployment is related to abavubuka okuba nti anoonyako kale weyeekwata, staying at home without doing anything is also tiresome. So bw'awulira nti Mr. Kyagulanyi alina aba agenda mukono agamba kangende funeyo gwe neekwata kabamba buuza waliyo emmotoka etutwala.
Kati bw'omwekwatako, will you have get employed?
At least maybe you are positioning yourself maybe to be seen by the president. osanga somewhere somehow ayinza okuwoka limo. But do we agree the unemployment rate eri wanene waffe yadde Mr. President agamba nti he does not want to hear about it naye tukikkirize nti erina engeri gy'affectinzemu abavubuka
eba affectinze but bavubuka beba affectinze etya me I've always told you here that some people who even have small jobs they don't want to do those small jobs they want comfort they want comfort nti not everybody will get employed in an office setup. No, not everybody. Because we don't have all those many jobs.
Yeah.
Naina katono koina, as long as it can make you live a good life, a comfortable life, a life that will not make you a beggar. Then start from that one as the other one also comes in. Kati okusiba ng'otambula ng'ogoberera abalali abantu abali mulali, will it benefit you? And if it all tobalaba nga bagamba struggle yanjuwayo kati ndiawo sina
struggle yansala.
Because if these people have followed how these politicians use and dump the rest, including even big politicians have been used and dumped, then why would you waste your time on such kind of a leader? Instead you would go support, do your work of business, because I know when they find you having something, you know most of these leaders don't want to see a successful person, because when you are successful, when you have something in your pocket, now you will not beg them for that, because you will be able to afford it. And most of the politicians don't want you in that kind of life. Instead oba ogenda muvaako n'akubuuza ate kakatolero okoze otya ogenza otya because you have not asked kati onkoze otya honorable. And they will feel attacked somewhere. They will not feel comfortable having you around next time. Because most of them may want to call even at midnight. And because you expect a 20,000 at the end of the day, you will just run. And surprising, most of them use even the transport that is more than what they get.
Surprisingly, abamu balina obu business bwabwe basobola bagenda okuggala agende mueyo procession yo.
Ate abasinga business zaabwe zisigala zikola. Kati ongamba Edi Mutobwa, for example, sorry to use this example, ayina saloon. Bwaba agenda mu ezo campaign olowooza saloon ye bagigalawo.
Erimu abakozi abalala.
Honorable Kyagulanyi ayina business zolowooza ziggalawo.
Does Busabala beach close? No.
If you run that, then buli omu kati akole China. Akole China, tandikire ku China. But if you want to be taken the way we want to be, then
if you want to be used and dumped,
so it be.
Sibula abatoyo olunaku leero Kato.
Mwebale nnyo okutulawo olunaku olwaleero. Kyengenda omaliza nakyo kiri bwe kiti. Yes, we need a lot of things to change in life.
Yeah.
Okay? But before you can see them change, then you have to be somebody in position to add something to that change. Okiteeke mu ngeri gy'okyagalamu. Because nobody will shape something the way you want it to be shaped if it's not you doing it. And that's a fact. Yadde twagala nkyukakyuka tugamba government etuyisiza but ne government ejja. If we are not positioned well, if we have not trained ourselves so well, if we have not created changes in ourselves, then nobody will bring the changes we want into the new government. We shall find the same people that are supporting the change of the government also in opposition. Now they want the new government also change. Because they did not invest in creating an environment that can enable change that is reasonable change and not just a mere change. So much as we are all in this that we do, make sure that you work on yourself first, so that you have something to add in that struggle, so that you have a change that you can also personally bring on the table and involve the rest.
Ebyo nosoba naye prioritize yourself bagamba gondera government eriko gyoyagala ekusange ng'okyali mulamu teriyo mmedo gye bawa muntu mbu yafiira mu struggle mbwe baali bagenda Masaka ye naafa family ye ne bagiwa mmedo family ye egenda kubonaabona because you made a silly decision okubanga teweerabirira n'otuka okubanga ate ofiira mu struggle njawo okubanga mbasiibulira wano mbaagaliza olunaku olw'onsinkana olunaku olw'enkya essaawa zigenda kubeera 2 ez'okumakya. Have yourself a good day.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.